So one of the most frequent complaints from piano students is that they can't play staccato as efficiently, as comfortably, and as quickly as legato, for example. And unfortunately, it's quite natural, because when we play staccato, we intuitively want these notes to sound short. So we start pulling the hand away, accumulating some tension in the hand. It means that we are always constantly tense. We have a certain amount of static tension in the hand, even after the sound, like that. So one of the most frequent things you might see when people play piano, when they play staccato, is something like, and you might see that my hand is really tense between the sounds. And that's the root of the issue for most of the cases. So today we are going to speak about how to master a natural way to play staccato. For that, let's have a look exactly on that passage from the final movement from the Beethoven Pathetic Sonata. I have a special course dedicated to this piece, but let's quickly additionally just look into that staccato spot as an example. So what we are going to do here, we are going to analyze what happens with our hand when we play staccato and how we can improve staccato. So the first exercise that I suggest you to do is to approach the keyboard with relaxed arm, and you hold your forearm above the keyboard. So your fingers hang down freely, and they barely touch the keys, but your forearm is higher. You see, so we have a higher wrist position, but we are not tense in the wrist. Yeah, the hand is absolutely relaxed. You just hold the forearm a little bit higher. So that's our initial position. And now just make a short introductory exercise. You just suddenly release the arm and let your hand fall down all the way, like that. So a higher position of the forearm, touching the keys with the tips of your fingers, but absolutely relaxed hand, and then you just fall down like that. So do that a few times just to feel the power of gravity. And now, while falling down, you activate the finger, namely knuckle joint, nail joint, and bouncing with the wrist. So what happens here? You fall down, but as soon as you reach the bottom of the key, you activate the finger, hanging on that finger. Yeah, and most of the stability will be accumulated in the knuckle and in the nail joint, the last joint of the finger, and partially also in the wrist. The wrist we need in order to cushion. Yeah, so you fall down with your wrist all the way to the bottom of the key and gently rebounds like that. Boom. So you don't allow your wrist to fall down too low. Yeah, so this don't work. This works like that. And you see there is a certain cushioning after the hit. So we reach the bottom, boom, and you instantly release the hand, returning to the initial position. And while doing so, you also release the finger, you see? So we use gravity. We approach the keyboard from above, use gravity in order to fall down. As soon as we feel the bottom, boom, we return to initial position, rebouncing with the hand and releasing the finger instantly. Release. Feel the bottom, release. Feeling the bottom is essential. So at first you reach the bottom with the tips of your finger, feel that support, leaning sensation, and then you release and go up. So you always support yourself in the bed of the key. That's why I suggest mastering staccato, first playing some forte scales, like this passage from Pathetic Sonata. Yeah, so this passage is perfect for this because it's forte. So we can allow ourselves to play naturally with the gravity and to feel the weight of the hand. A few bars before, when the left hand plays staccato, it's supposed to be still piano. This is a little bit more tricky, and I suggest you to practice that, to master such spots like after playing them forte. So at first, you nevertheless coordinate motions, as I have explained, in forte with a good embodied sound, and then you do same thing, just diving in the keys a bit slower in order to provide a more delicate sound. But but nevertheless not holding the weight of the hand, because if you hold the weight of the hand, it will be uncomfortable. So the key idea is that in order to stop the sound, you don't have to pull off the hand or the finger. You can just release the finger, staying close to the keys. And if you coordinate your motions between hits, you can achieve a nice way to play staccato without tension. Of course, it works only in a moderate or moderately fast tempo. But if you have to play something really fast staccato, then you would need to release, to also additionally activate the tips of the fingers in order to provide a more crispy, more shortened sound. However, I have to say that when we play piano, especially in acoustic, like with some reverberation, there is a natural limit how fast you can play actually your passages staccato, because after a certain speed, it starts bland. Your sounds start bland nevertheless, because dampers also need a little bit of time in order to stop the sound. Yeah, so if you play in this tempo, technically I was playing staccato, but you can't really say, because sounds start to blend. It means that there is a natural limit of speed when we want to clearly convey this staccato effect. One thing that is important to know is that staccato doesn't obviously mean just somehow short. For example, in Baroque and also partially in classical tradition, staccato would mean shorter than the original value of the note, but not obviously just by default somehow short. For example, if you play Bach Partita number 2 and you decide to play your left hand staccato, as you might notice, I don't play it like extremely shortly. This is because there is a very strong tradition, a very strong belief that for Baroque music was typical to shorten sounds by half when playing staccato. It means when I have a line of 8 notes, I would execute them, if I want to play them staccato, I would play them as a 16-note plus 16-note rest. But I would not just play them as like 64 notes plus whatever rest. Yeah, so not extremely sharp, but just sharper than the original value. It brings a certain like elaborated sensation, because when we play just extremely sharply, you might notice that it sounds like a little bit like not serious, not profound enough. It's like not really convincing when we think about like Bach, like something like Bach. Yeah, but if you play something like that, it sounds more elaborated, because these notes nevertheless have a certain length, and you can say that I'm actually listening to the length of that note. And this gives a much nicer sensation. Of course, you can neglect this tradition and you can play it sharper, because nowadays we have YouTube. You don't have to win a major music competition in order to prove that you're good enough. So of course you can experiment with any kind of extravagant interpretations, but I think it's just nice to be informed about this side of Baroque music. Similar thing, for example, with Beethoven, when we have staccato over half notes. So at first we have a portato, and then we have 2 half notes chords with staccato. So it means that I would not play these chords just somehow short. I would play them as a quarter note plus quarter note rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like that. This gives a certain sensation of like elaborated approach than just somehow default approach. Then another very important topic, that the length of the sound is one criteria. Yeah, so we might choose to play staccato like longer or shorter depending on the context, but we can also manipulate with how we end the sound, and that's another like criteria. For example, we can end the sound instantly, like you might hear that the end of the sound is quite abrupt because I'm releasing the finger instantly. So we hear like no sound. But I can release the finger, for example, slower. You see, so we hear some kind of a diminuendo at the end of the sound, and this is another. This opens another like spectrum of opportunities when we interpret things. For example, in a beautiful sonata by Benda, which I'm going also to cover on this channel soon. Here we have these drops on top, and we can choose how sharply we want to play them. We can play, for example, very abruptly, very shortly, or elaborating the ends of the sounds, releasing the keys a little bit more gradually, like a little bit closer to tenuto. Yeah, so then, of course, it requires same elasticity as in Beethoven. Yes, when we were learning how to play staccato using gravity, same principle. You dive in the key, and then you gradually release the fingers, raising the forearm. And this gives you a great opportunity to approach the next key using gravity as well. You see? And depending on how lazily you release fingers, like how gradually you release fingers, you get sharper or a little bit longer sound with a smoother end. Okay, so those are different options, like the length of the sound, how abruptly the sound ends and stuff. Same in Bach. We can end the sounds very like pop, 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 pop. Or this is also staccato, technically speaking, yeah, but it sounds much smoother and less tense than if I would release the finger immediately, like really abruptly. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and write in comments whether this video was helpful and what other difficulties you experience in piano playing, what other topics you would like to see covered on this channel. Have fun playing piano and see you next time.